Hey everyone, Bert from Seasoned Gaming, and we're back with another review of another pound VGA cable. Now this one's kind of cool because it is for the Dreamcast. Now up to today there's been a lot of different solutions for the Dreamcast. Theoretically, the best way to get the highest resolution for the Dreamcast historically has been via VGA cables. So if you see these things, these are the old school cables that were available when PCs were kind of the main thing where you could get your best resolution. They're kind of hard to find. An original Sega Dreamcast cable that was made for the Dreamcast are about $100 on eBay, and most of the time you're getting it shipped from somewhere else. There are other options that you could do, and you could do something along the lines of this little converter box. Now this takes a component, or I should say composite cables, which are yellow for your video, you have white for left audio, and red for right audio. They take this signal and then convert it into HDMI. Now, a lot of these are considered upscalers, and you have your different settings where you can go to 720 to 1080p. But the unfortunate thing is you're not really getting a better picture quality. You're simply converting this signal into HDMI, and then this little box does what it can to up the resolution to the 720 or 1080p setting that you choose. These are pretty cheap. These run you about 10 to 15 bucks. You can get them on Amazon, you can get them on eBay. Whatever the case is, you can find those on there. Now the other combination of things that happen is you find the $10 to $15 eBay cables that will come with the VGA and the audio, and you can use those. The problem is most TVs these days don't have VGA. So then you find yourself getting a converter like this that has a VGA import with audios, and then it turns it into an HDMI signal. So at the end of the day, you're going to be paying a lot for different solutions. The solution that Pound has come up with is pretty cool if you use it for what it is. So what it does is it takes the simple signal of the back of the Dreamcast, which is the main video output, and it turns it into the HDMI output. Now there's no external power cables, there's nothing. This is actually a pretty easy unboxing, and it's not really meant to be an unboxing because we'll be looking at a couple video comparisons. But literally what you have, the output from the back of the Dreamcast to HDMI. So now this is pretty cool because what it technically does is it taps into the VGA sourcing. So if you have any games that are on the Dreamcast that are not compatible with VGA output, this will not work very well. Now there's a couple other quirks with this cable that have been found in different reviews, and I ran into a lot of them. So let's go ahead and talk about what these are with some video as to what they are. Now before I get there, I do want to mention I had a bit of a time trying to capture footage on my Elgato because Elgato, the one I have, the HD60, cannot record 480p. So I did record off screen with a pretty high-end camera that should give us what we're looking for. Okay, so we're looking at a recording off screen. Once again, this is on a PC monitor and a Canon 70D that we're recording off screen. Now immediately I can notice that the resolution is a lot sharper, the colors are a lot deeper, and everything looks a lot nicer through the specific Pound cable. Now let's take a look at composite coming through the converter. Now here you'll notice the colors are brighter, but they're all washed out. Stuff is a lot blurrier. You'll notice the movement is the same, but the colors aren't as deep as they should be. Now the biggest difference here is mainly the clarity and the colors. I can't mention too much other things, but aside from that, it is a nice improvement from what we're seeing before. Let's take a look at another game. Okay, here's a classic. So Marvel vs. Capcom 2. We're switching it up this time. We are doing composite first this time to see if you can see the difference. Take a look at the bottom left-hand corner where simply the names of the characters and stuff is. It's kind of blurry. It's not very clean. The characters are somewhat looking good, but if you can imagine this point in time, stuff was not the best back then. So back in the day, we were super amazed by it, but when we compare it to today's standards, things are very different. So a little cut and splicing. Here is some composite gameplay. Let's switch it over to the Pound cable. Now once again off screen, and you can immediately notice how much nicer the colors are, how much cleaner everything is. If you look at the character select screen, once again bottom left, things look a lot nicer, colors are deeper, everything is loading super nice here. Let's take a look at the gameplay now. So here we go. You can see how much crisper everything is when you kind of have them right next to each other. It looks a lot nicer. Now this is just my personal opinion. I'd suggest trying this out to see how it works on your screen. Let's have a little fun here with Power Stone 2. We're going to do something different here. We're going to have both playing at the same time, Top left is going to be one, bottom right is going to be another one. Let's see if you can guess which one is which. One is off screen and one is a direct feed from the composite cable. So here we go. Top left is the off screen, so that is going to be your pound cable. Bottom right is the composite. Let's run them both next to each other, see what you think about them. You can kind of see the difference in colors. Hopefully you can see the difference in clarity here, but let's go ahead and take a look at them full screen this time. So once again, we're going to have a difference. This one's going to be the direct feed from composite. So here we go, composite. Take a look at the bottom right and bottom left where it says Falcon and Rogue. That'll give you an indicator of the clarity, and this is a direct feed into the capture card. When you jump over to the actual pound, you see how much clearer the Falcon and Ryoma says there at the bottom. That's going to be the biggest indicator and the biggest difference here, along with colors, folks. Okay, so let's talk about quirks with this cable. Now, if you look at the left side of the screen that you're watching, you'll notice there's a bit of a gap between the edge of the screen and where the actual Dreamcast projection is coming to. This is a known issue, and Pound is aware of it. They did test a lot of these on a lot of different monitors. They didn't run into it during testing, but we're seeing a lot of customers and complaints that this is coming through. It's an easy fix. All you have to do is unplug the HDMI cable and plug it back in, and that should fix and center the image there for you. Now, this shouldn't take too long. It is kind of a pain. You'll have to do it every single time that you are wanting to play your games, but this is kind of the trade-off here to get that VGA image quality when you're playing your games on the Dreamcast. Now, the final verdict here is that it's a great value for $30. There's some more expensive options out there, but you're really going to be paying for them. So if you want to pay $30, try the cable out, see if it works for you. That's great. This is Bert once again from Season Gaming, and thanks for watching.